Uber and Lyft drivers, wherever you are today, tuning in. I welcome you to our house. This house was formed for rideshare drivers, and they can express their opinions, their suggestions, their feelings as much as they want to. You're welcome in my house, Mikasa Sukasa. And what do I have here today? Right, what do I have on my shoulder? Hello, my friend Carly. I have a huge pile of magazines, my friends. And let me tell you how much this costs me each week. Zero. Sweet zip. $0, right? Because I drop by at a spot in Los Angeles, and you should find that spot in your city where you pick up your weekly pile of magazines for free. John Smith, welcome. So this is getting heavy here, but what do I have? I have a bunch of magazines, and they happen to be home and land magazines. Let me show you. This particular one over here. There's this huge pile here. There we go. Let's get this one out here. Where is it? There we go. There we go. These are home and land magazines. This one says all homes from Malibu to Beverly Hills. This one here says all homes from San Fernando, Conejo, and Simi Valleys, right? Pretty much east to west, north to south. Paul Figueroa in the house, San Diego, sending my love to San Diego. Give Thomas Gibson a big hug from me. Love you guys. Suzanne Monet, I would love more info on how drivers are coordinating using the algorithm. Okay, we will get into all of those questions, but today, my friends, the way I made my money in rideshare was by attaching my real estate and my limo driver business card to magazines every single week, right? This is just this week. There's more. And my job then, right, is to get my huge box out, and I go through several of these boxes each year, all my business cards, thousands of them. I think I print like 5,000 at a time, right? And I simply do a very simple thing. I grab the magazines and I put 2 business cards on each. There we go. See there? And I attach it to the side so that they can just remove it very easily. There it is, right? And then I attach the real estate one. And what I want to do is I want to set myself up, right, with my side hustle or my other job, whatever you want to call it, part-time job, in this case, real estate, right? And there is no better place. Cody Martin in the house, Arsenio in the house, Sergio Robles, my friend. We had a good meeting at In-N-Out together. Charles Coolidge, Driver Lady Pro, Signook. How are you, Signook? Thank you for your wonderful text messages, Charles. Today we're discussing networking, right? And the opportunity to meet all of these individuals in your office, in your car, right? And I just showed you folks, every week, I probably pick up, I don't know, 60, 70 magazines. Of those magazines, I want to move in high-end areas, Hidden Hills, I pick those up. Malibu, love driving out there, PCH, by the ocean. Calabasas, where I stay, right? And the West Side, right? So I strategically, oops, there we go. What happened there? Got a little bit of a malfunction. I strategically pick up all of these magazines in the areas that I want to cover driving-wise, the people that I want to attract, right? So I then go and attach my business cards to every single one of these magazines, always 2 at a time. And where do I put them? I put them right behind my seats. right in the passenger's eye. They cannot miss it, right? I have a couple of other magazines stashed behind there, maybe a People magazine, maybe a Forbes magazine, maybe a Rob Report magazine, maybe a Vanity Fair. I'll have the LA Times, I'll have the New York Times. And remember, I'm driving in black SUV and Lux, right? So I got to put a very professional side forward. And the one thing that my passengers say, wow, you have all the updated magazines, you have the daily newspapers in your car. I love sitting back, chilling, reading this paper, that paper. And when I see them grab this magazine, ladies and gentlemen, when I see them in the car, I can see them from behind. When they grab that, I say to them, hey, you're more than welcome to take that magazine home. Why? Because I have hundreds of them at home. Please take it home, feel free. And by them taking it home, they've also taken my business cards with them, right? They've taken my business cards with them. That is now my in. That is the opportunity. That is also the opportunity to have a conversation, to start networking. Now, oh, I see you're in real estate and you're also a private driver. That's awesome. Yeah, I've got tons of references. If you ever want to, Nicholas Geiger, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. If you ever want to, if you have a group of friends or your family that you need to be that you need to have picked up at the airport, if you have kids that are going out to a party, if you're going to a wedding, call me. I'll be there. And I have tons of references for you in Hidden Hills, in Calabasas, in Malibu, in Westlake. If you need them, I'll gladly give you a couple of names, right? And those people will vouch for me all day long, because they were clients at first who have now become very, very, very good friends. And these are very, very wealthy, successful people. Those are the type of people I'd like to surround myself with. Now, I don't want to come across arrogant when I say that, right? But I'm in the game here to make money, right? And I'm in the game here to educate drivers how to make more money. Okay, so the one thing is, got to admit, I'm obviously taking care of myself. And then I'm also taking care of all the rideshare drivers, because if my formula works, why be selfish, right? Why be selfish? Share it. Ask Stephen from Laguna Beach how he uses my formula and how much money he made last year. Not only in the driving side, but especially in real estate. So to go out, Susan Monet, Joseph Smith, oh, Joseph Smith. Yeah, we have a troll in the house, everyone. We've got Joseph Smith, a hater, who obviously, I don't know, doesn't sound like you're angry or you're upset, Joseph. What's rattled you today? Yeah, you hand out your ideas. Exactly. That's how you do. There's enough money going around, right? But unless you're selfish and you want to keep them all for yourself, Joseph, and you're not willing to share, then I understand. So, Joseph, we don't accept trolls in our house and haters. So guess what? We're going to give you a little timeout. There we go. We have no time for his energy. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. I don't want to go backward. I don't want to inject poison, negativism, pessimism into any conversation. If this works, and look at Thomas Gibson down in San Diego, started his channel, printed his business cards. Look at his clients already in a few months, just following a basic formula. And this is not rocket science. It's not like I'm coming up with the world's greatest idea. No, I'm here just to teach basics. Very, very basic steps. Nash Brooklyn from Video Drivers ask us what we do. What do you do, Nash Brooklyn? Share with us. Share with us. You're more than welcome to share your info here or a link, right? But Joseph's gone. He got a timeout. He's like, one of those little 4-year-old brats that disrupts the class, that needs attention, this huge, huge attention seeker that continuously disrupts the class. And we put him in a timeout. He's sitting back there now, Joseph, in the right corner facing the wall. I'd say let's give him a 2-hour timeout, right? That's it. Like when I was in the army, no food, no drinks, and you're standing in the sun for a couple of hours until the people start dropping, right? Then you start to see, who has the willpower to stand and continue, and who just wants to be a plain arsehole. So we don't feed the trolls here. We give them timeouts. And my friends, find your source. Find your source for magazines. This didn't cost me anything, right? This huge pile of magazines picked up yesterday doesn't cost me anything. What does cost me a little bit of money, and truly not much, is, going out and printing all the business cards. There he is, Thomas Gibson in the house. I just gave you a shout out, my friend. If you guys truly want to see a dedicated, special person who I call a dear friend, we've had dinners together, we've lunches together. He's down in San Diego. I visited him. He's come up to LA. This guy, anyone in this room, this is someone to look up to. You know why? Because he just went out there and did it, right? He came from the trucking world. San Diego Rideshare Pro. Go and check out his channel. Thomas, share your link with us so that all the people can go over there and give you a subscribe, if you would, please. What's it? Oh yeah, videos that advertise drivers' business are looping on tablets behind front seats headrests. Nice, I like that. Smart idea. Super, super smart idea. So yeah, Thomas, San Diego Rideshare Pro, share your link with us to your channel, to your YouTube channel, so that the people can go over there and sub. And he will bring you the value that you are looking for in San Diego, right? And he's taken it several dimensions further. His car's impeccable. The technology in his car is impeccable. You'll see several videos of us together helped him launch his channel. And he's got his business cards out there. He's got his website out there, and he's attracting the payers, right? The money people, right? And he's doing scheduled trips with them. He's making money, right? So, and Signook is right. The most successful people in this world are givers, not takers. There's no reason to be selfish, like Joseph here, right? Who wants to keep, not share. That's a parenting issue that goes way back to the ages of 2 or 3 years old. The psychology that sets in when your parents forget to tell the child, hey, share your toys. It's not all of yours. There's 3 or 4. You're a team player, right? That's where you set the tone with a child, that they become a team player. It's not like this. It's all mine. It's all mine. It's all mine. Those people walk through life in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, 50s, selfish, only thinking about themselves, usually feeding their own ego, feeding their own narcissism. It's all about them, right? Whereas if you act as a team and you network, right, you accomplish far, far greater things in life. And I'll tell you, the amount of magazines that have people, maybe they haven't taken the magazines out of my car, but they've asked for the business card. And I'm in the relationship. I'm having a good conversation with them. Hey, yeah, that's what I do. If you ever need any help, hit me up. What do you do? So now I found out what they do. And then I find out what Jack does and what Jill does and what Samantha does and what Eddie does. And then I can maybe in one of my trips say, hey, I know Eddie. Let me hook you up with Jack because he does that. I bring those two together and I create another synergy and another opportunity for myself to slot myself in the middle to maybe, get an introductory fee or getting a commission on a big deal, right? Networking. Your car, your office is truly, truly the best place to network and create the most amazing relationships. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree that that opportunity, that trip, whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes, sets the stage for far, far greater things? So yeah, as I told you, I go out, I get tons and tons of magazines, and it's very simple. I will spend a couple of minutes each week, I'll get out all my cards, and here we go. Got to have a good staple gun. Get your magazine out, right? There it is. This is not difficult. Maybe not a good idea to cover the logo of the magazine. And there we go. Now, in the car, that's what they see behind the seat. If they take the magazine, may I take the card? Yes, absolutely. I've got the card. There it is. Got the card. Thank you. There's the relationship. Tava L'Oreal, I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you, right? This is what they're going to put in their wallet or their purse, right? And what I suggest you do there is you have your face, that's me there, right? Or your car at the back, the picture. Sorry, it's a little bit dark. So they remember, aha, that was Zola, and she drove me in that Mercedes. Or that was Fred Waller, and he drove me in that Toyota. Or that was Russell Ringo, and he drove me in that BMW. Or that was Susan, and she drove me in that Prius hybrid. Or that was John, and he drove me in that Cadillac, right? So they remember you. They remember a face, and they remember a car, and the most important of all, they remember the experience, the 15-minute experience, the 30-minute experience. This guy was awesome, or she was awesome, right? I remember driver, does real estate, yes, super cool. Mentioned that if I needed any references, I could call him or I could call her. You know what? Let me do that. And that's really how I get repeat business. Word of mouth is very, very powerful. When you bring top service, when you're reliable, on time, and you're bringing your A game, he and she will tell the community in that area, there's this awesome guy, there's this awesome girl, or Paula's great, Uber girl Paula's great with kids. I highly suggest you give her a call, schedule with her, or so on, so on. That's networking, my friends. So, and as that relationship grows, as you give them the second, the third, the fourth, the 30th trip, the 50th trip, I tell you what, you become friends, right? You become friends. You share so much during trips. And there we go. There's San Diego Rideshare Pro. Bam! There it is. There's his link. San Diego rideshareservices.com. Go over there. Also go to his channel and subscribe. You'll see some of the videos I made. We did in collab. Anyone in LA or OC or San Diego wants to do a collab with me or wants to launch their channel, hit me up, man. I'm a cheap date. I'll take a coffee or a meal. Thomas spoiled me way too much. He took me to Mastro's for a steak, for a great steak. I appreciate that, but he didn't have to do that. I am a cheap date, I'll tell you that. Love coffee, and I love a healthy lunch. Find a good place where you get a good salad, right? Don't set up a meeting with me at McDonald's or Burger King. I will not show up, my friends. So, networking. How many of you have had the opportunity to network in the car, to set something greater up, right? With some of my clients, I now have businesses. Some of my clients now who have a lot of money, a couple have $400-500 million. One client I have is $1.2 billion, etc. Guess who's going to be asking them or pitching them? Let me rather say pitching them on the new rideshare company, right? How do you think I got to these people? I got to these people by networking and advertising into their areas, Hidden Hills, Calabasas, getting them on as a private client and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Visit my channel. This is who I am. This is what I represent. This is my house. These are the people. These are the collaborations that I have with all the other YouTubers. You have a good foundation to invest into. That came from networking, right? Rideshare Hacker, how are you? Reaching out. Thank you so much for your always positive messages from Rideshare Hacker. See how he's addressing the rideshare community, not just saying hello to me. That to me is class, man. That's class. Kevin Wenzel, can you give Uber and Lyft customers your private car service business? No. What you do is you can give them your private car, but you've got to obviously schedule the trip through the app, right? You arrive, they request, you accept, right? That's not difficult. Could take a family down to Disneyland, make myself a quick $150 or $200, right? Nice long trips. Or you market, right? And if somebody contacts me and says, hey, my friend told me that you can take a group of kids to a party or to a club, and I need them to get there safely and back. Now, that may have been an introduction from an Uber driver, right? Word of mouth, right? And that's my private client right there. So it doesn't have to necessarily always come directly from an Uber client. It could be coming from an Uber client that introduced me to someone else, right? And so I've built up a big portfolio of passengers. Honestly, sometimes on Friday and Saturdays, I get double or triple booked. My ratio today is about 60% private trips, 40% Uber and Lyft. That's my ratio, 40-60. 60% private trips where I'm putting 100% of my earnings in my pocket, less my costs, right? And on the other side, which is getting worse and worse, I do the Uber and Lyft SUV or Lux, where they are taking 40 to 50%. I'm going to do a video tomorrow where we're getting close to the 50% mark, man. They're taking 50% of our money, right? No shame. They're just doing it. Fred Walker, Fred Waller, power to you. You're welcome, Kevin. I'm just sharing information that works for me. I've seen that it works for others, right? I get a lot of good feedback. See it's working for Thomas. I see it's working well for Stephen in Laguna Beach. Dewey Fisher, good morning. Rideshare Hacker, the best thing you can do is in 2 months, go to Allied Schools, or I'll send you a link. He says, I love the idea of real estate. This, my friends, this, right? The fact that you get all these free pamphlets and magazines and advertising, and you get to attach your real estate. There's mine. Awesome, right? Because that's how I feel. I feel awesome. And I'm going to share that with them, right? Or my driver business card. It is the best way to use that car as a real estate office, right? If they are looking at that magazine, hey, are you in the market for buying or selling? Yeah, I'm in the market. We had massive fires in here, California. You know how many people lost their homes, rebuilding, rebuying? You make business. I do business transactions in the car. Maybe not on the first trip, maybe on the second, third, or 10th trip, right? You set the stage. If you know it's going to be a once-off, who knows? You have to maybe use that time, that 20 minutes, to really do a sale or an introduction or create a friendship, right? So if the trip says to me, hey, I requested you in quiet mode, the shut up and drive mode, right? The quiet mode, the shut up and drive mode. My lips are sealed. I'm going to say nothing, which means they are missing out on the greatest experience. The greatest experience to network with me, the greatest experience to set up bigger things, the greatest experience to form a friendship, right? So if they want the shut up and drive mode, the quiet mode, their loss. It's their loss, right? The next person, and unless it's a lady who's been hit on by so many drivers and she just really wants peace and quiet and doesn't want to be hit on. I guess that would work well for an individual like that, right? The quiet mode, or what I call it, the shut up and drive mode. But generally speaking, my clients will get in the car, or new people that I get into the Uber or Lyft car in SUV or Lux. Hey, how's your day? Mine's great. And then you get into a conversation. Generally, they always want to talk, right? They always want to talk. They're very chitty chatty, right? And because they're curious what your life is about. They want to share their success stories, and you get into a great conversation. And now suddenly you're networking. You don't get that opportunity in the quiet mode or the shut up and drive mode. HM USA, John Doe, why is he wearing t-shirt that promotes Uber and Lyft? Very, very simple, because I drive for Uber and Lyft, right? There we go. HM USA has a question. He says, John Doe, why is he wearing a t-shirt that promotes Uber and Lyft? Because I drive for and I drive for Lyft, and I drive private trips. I drive what say, is on 3 platforms. I hope that answers your question, HMUSA. You are, by the way, in a rideshare house. You are, by the way, in a rideshare YouTube channel. So if I'm making videos, you should logically put 2 and 2 together that I have something to do with Uber and Lyft. There we go. You're welcome, my friend. John Doe, self-regulate. Mr. and Mrs. Brown, you're an awesome human being. I love you too. All of these people are awesome human beings. Again, thank you so very much for all you do to lead and help us every way possible. And I can only give you love back. I appreciate you saying that. It's a two-way street, my friend. We're not in a cul-de-sac here. This is a two-way street. I'm learning from the feedback and the input that people are sharing with us. We sharing it with the new generation. And we're growing, right? If you are not learning, you are not growing, right? You'll hit stagnancy, right? You'll hit this flat level if you're not increasing the desire to learn, to go out, to read, to watch, to take upon, right? If you are not learning, you are not growing, my friends. Nash Brooklyn, have you thought of doing a video on price fixing issues with rideshare companies as well as rideshare concept? Yeah, the price fixing, now that Uber and Lyft know each other's dirty stories, because everything literally had to be disclosed in the S1 filings pre-IPO. You had to show all your good laundry, all your dirty laundry. They know each other's game plan now, so they can work together and start doing price fixing, right? Who knows? They may also have a number. The CEO of both sides may say, hey, we're going to do this. We suggest you do that. Or, hey, join us on this. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We really don't. We're the drivers bringing in the money, but the decisions made by the executives, the price possible, I'm saying the possible price fixing by the corporates, and who knows what stories they're concocting and what they're brewing up there, right? Maybe to the detriment of the drivers, maybe to the benefit of the riders. You don't know, right? But there is definitely some form of price fixing going on. And they keep on subsidizing. So yeah, the RC, I've had 2 quiet preferred rides so far. Likewise, thank God they're not too many. I think the passenger thinks, hey, I don't want to insult this person, right? But I do understand if I get like a business lady getting into the car and she's going to a business meeting and she's dressed to the tens and she just wants quiet. She doesn't want to get hit on. So I respect that. Just back off. But the funny thing is in quiet mode, guess who speaks first? It's usually the rider, right? And at that moment, you've invited me in to talk, right? You've invited me in to go and network. Right? Don't you think so? The moment they break the silence, it's an invitation to talk. But until then, I will zip it and I'll go into shut up and drive mode. Right? But thank God there are not many of them. It's just very, very seldom. So thank you for sharing that, RC. Susan Monet, private trips I used to, but I stopped because of the insurance issues. Insurance is high. That's probably your biggest cost right there is your insurance, your commercial insurance with private trips, right? But setting yourself up, getting the TNC or the TCP license, it's not that bad. It's an investment you should do, right? Yeah, mute buttons. So for those joining, I go out there and I get my huge mountain of magazines each week, right? And I then start stapling my cards to the magazine. They're more than welcome to take the magazine, go sort of down the page or side by side, different home and land magazines. I now have the opportunity to get into a great conversation, okay? So how do you guys, do any of you guys market yourself or network yourselves out there? Any one of you try this out, right? The other thing is the markets that I want to be in, right, where I want to network, I make sure that I get magazines. The West Side, Santa Monica, West LA, Marina del Rey, Venice. We're talking LA here. So I make sure I get this free magazine, right? The area where I start my day, where I get the longest trips, Calabasas, they come out with this big fat magazine. Many of these people in these magazines I've driven, right? I want to make sure I get this magazine, right? Then another area I really enjoy driving in is Malibu. So I go out and get this magazine as well. And then my favorite of all favorite places, where Travis Scott lives, where Kylie Jenner lives, where the Amigos live, where Drake lives, where Angelina Jolie lives, all of those guys out in Hidden Hills, right? And they know me in Hidden Hills. I guess most of my clients are from Hidden Hills. So I have carefully hand-selected and picked the people that I want to network with. Why? Because that's where I position my car, right? Because that's where I know I'm going to get black SUV and Lux trips. And this goes years and years back. So I've been hitting those areas again and again and again. They know me there. The security at all of those gates, they know me there. Hey, Torsten, I know them by name, and we know each other. We've formed these relationships, right? So it's easy to go in. It's easy to go out. You're not held up. You're not wasting time. You go through the gates. You pick up people. You deliver people, right? And where did I start? I started in UberX. I wanted to learn all the ins and outs. I wanted to learn Select. I wanted to learn XL. I wanted to learn SUV. I wanted to learn Lux. I wanted to learn UberX, all of the categories, as well as the Lyft categories. So if I go out, right, I'm qualified to talk about that. That's what I've been urging the executives to do. Go into the car and learn the different categories before you make decisions, because the treatment we are getting right now is not fantastic. And guess what? Those algorithms, all those things that they have set up, right? Drivers are finding creative ways to counter those algorithms, right? Look at DC. Look at the surge manipulation. If Uber is not, or if Uber and Lyft are not taking care of their drivers money-wise, they should not act surprised, right? Intelligent human beings find a way to work around the tech, to work around the algorithms. Why? Because they have to take care of themselves. Why? Because the company is not taking care of them, right? So they're getting creative, more creative, and doing and finding ways to make money. Why? Because the company is not taking care of them. So I'm not surprised. I'm truly, truly not surprised that this surge manipulation, etc., all of that is part of the drivers rebelling. You're not taking care of us. We will take care of us, right? We will figure out ways to make money, right? There we go. So let's see, what else do we have? I wanted to keep that fairly short and sweet. Daniel Christopher, how are you? Welcome. It's not a super long video. I want to keep it short because, networking, I don't think it's a complicated thing. I just wanted to show you ways where you can really, getting free magazines each week and going out, printing, and they ship this to me, boxes and boxes of my business cards. What's on my business card? My picture on the front, my car on the back, and then I attach my real estate ones, right? So at the end of the day, I have a total of 2 business cards attached to my magazines. There it is, right? You can take it off. You can take the magazine. There we go. 2 new ways for me to make money, to get private long trips, and those are the only ones I'm promoting. Airport runs, Universal Studios, Disneyland, the long trips. I'm not going to do a scheduled trip if it's just around the corner. Not going to do it. I'm here to make money, not to waste my time. So basically, what is the real incentive to have a great rating and be a great driver? Very simple. If you have a great rating and a great driver, you're going to get great tips, right? And the people that have stinky interiors, dirty interiors, crappy looking car, first impression counts, rider sees you're not enjoying this, you're just doing, you're not going to get a tip. The goal to me is to get a few $100 tips per week, period, right? And that could be from $300 right up to $500-$600 in tips, at least on my side. So my incentive for putting on my A game, my incentive for having a high rating is high ratings equate to high tips. Super low ratings, I'll compare tips day and night between a good driver, A game, and a guy that doesn't care and is just doing a couple of trips to make money. But that's okay. I'm not judging the person, right? If you're not chasing the tips, if you're not chasing the relationships, if you're not chasing the networking like I am, it's fine. I'm not judging you. You might just be, hey, you know what? I'm going to put in 3 hours. Don't truly care what my car looks like. Majority of the time I drive college students anyway. They go through drive-throughs. They leave crap in my car. I don't care. I'm going to give them a quick drive, get them from A to B. I don't truly care about my rating. That individual might wake up when their rating is so low that they got deactivated. Then they pull up their socks a little bit and work towards a higher rating. But there are many people out there, we shouldn't judge them, right? They're just doing this to make a few bucks. No. Your abstract echo, I don't agree with that. He says, can't get my picture taken. My ugly mug would shatter the camera lens. I love your humor, but take a picture, my friend. You're worthy, full on worthy to put your picture on the business card, right? Proud of yourself. So let's see, Michael Wells, I get more tips and better rides, rating 4.9 in LA. There we go. That's my argument right there. Just read what Michael Wells said. I get more tips and better rides with a 4.98 in, which is mine as well. So we're both on 4.98. That's the argument right there. All in one sentence. Michael just said it. Daniel Christopher, what's up, Torsten? You always have great money-making tips, and if the Lyft and Uber Rideshare execs were smart, they would hire you. I wouldn't work for them. At this point, I wouldn't work for Uber and Lyft. I wouldn't. I would turn them down, right? I have my own companies to run, other bigger fish to fry. I wouldn't go work for them for a salary. Would I go once in a while if they wanted to pick my brain in a Skype session? Yeah. I would sign up for that, but I would not go and occupy an office up in North California. Wouldn't happen. Just wouldn't happen. But would I take a phone call? Would I take a Skype all day long? Because I have a lot to tell them. I have a lot of tough questions to ask them. I demand answers. I demand answers to many of my questions, right? I have a long list. There was a TV station in Chicago that said we could possibly set up a meeting of you with Dara Kay where you get to ask questions. I wrote them back and I said, none of my questions will be redacted. None of my questions will be edited. I get to ask what I want to ask, and I want truthful answers, right? And I didn't hear back from them. So I guess that maybe doesn't work for those execs. They don't like the tough questions, right? But they should answer them, right? Because they, all they worried about, all they talk about every day, or the only reason why they're in front of the cameras is trying to get the IPO stock price up. That's the only reason. Have I seen anyone, even remotely, unless asked, talk about drivers? Only time they will spend 10, 15 seconds talking about drivers if they are asked by a journalist or a reporter. But they will never, ever bring it up. Hey, here's our game plan for drivers. No, they will talk about stocks all day long. Now, I can see that things when desperation sets in. And let me tell you, today was another desperate story. Have you guys heard of Scuba? The scuba service in Australia, the underwater submarines that Uber is doing for tourists, right? That is so far out of their business model. That means you're desperate. You're desperate for ideas, you're desperate for media attention, right? They come out with this thing. And I'm glad that the tourists will get to enjoy the Gold Coast, maybe in a scuba one day, right? An underwater mini submarine owned by Uber. But that's not where the money is, my friends. That's just like, hey, we have all these grandiose ideas, right? We're desperate to make cash. We're going to bring out scuba. It's a sign of desperation to me, right? They should stick to their core model of deliveries, introduce package deliveries, focus more on the cargo side and take care of the drivers, and then maybe one day work towards autonomous cars. But grabbing straws, scuba, service for tourists in Australia, launched by Uber, has zero, all to do with your business model, right? You're desperate for media, you're desperate for ideas, right? I would can that idea as a CEO, right? So a novelty, yeah, it's a novelty. And if they think they're going to bang heads with Amazon on deliveries with drones, why do you think Jeff Bezos just went out and splashed out a ton of money for Deliveroo? Because he is going to shake their market up. The delivery, the drone industry, Amazon has all the money in the world, and they have healthy bank accounts to not even allow Uber to enter that market, right? So you're just pissing money in the wind one more time, Uber. And again, I wish you good luck, Uber, with your scuba idea, with your little underwater submarines. That to me just sounds so desperate. It's not going to make money. How many people are going to go and order these little scuba submarines and show? Is that going to show up in your numbers and going to improve your numbers? No, that's a desperate attempt to show, hey, we diversified. Hey, we need media attention. This is what the CEO okays, this type of company. Wow. Chad Cookler, I think Uber and Lyft will eventually go the way of Blockbuster, not sustainable. Agree or disagree? They will go that route. I agree with you, Chad, if they don't make some fundamental changes. I don't see any leadership on the executive level. I see greed. And I see greed as like, hey, we got to the IPO, now we got to try get the stock price up. I don't see any clear vision, right? I don't see any healthy relationship between workforce and decision-making executives, right? There is such a disrupt. There are no bridges there, right? So unless they sort out all of that, there's no clear path forward, and there is a chance that they'll end up as Blockbuster. However, if they want to flush out the executive team, bring in competent leadership, and work on their business model and work on the relationships with their workforce, and then slowly but surely grow the company and increase the rates for passengers, I do see a path forward. What changes do you think need to happen? I think I just answered that, Chad. I hope to your satisfaction. If you want me to give more input, I'll gladly do so. Now Google has a revenue model. I mean, the money that they make on AdWords is their biggest money maker, AdWords. And, I've driven people that work for Google. They enjoy working for the company. They're happy to show up at work. They enjoy the work office that was set up for them. The other one is right now down on YouTube is down there by Jefferson and Playa del Rey, and there's the Google campus. You get those people in your car. Those are happy people. Those are techies that enjoy their job, right? Cannot quite say the same for Uber and Lyft drivers. There's not a, hey, we're happy today, we're making enough money. No, it's not quite like that right now. And there's a disconnect. There's a huge disconnect. So let's see. Hey, Leonard, how are you? Just logged on. Welcome. Any new faces? Yeah, so can you talk more about networking, make contacts, and generate leads for your other sales businesses without being pushy? Now, the one thing, I'm talking Rideshare here. I'm not going to go into the other companies, how I network. In my other companies, I rely heavily on social media, right? And sometimes paid advertising, sometimes even AdWords, Google to drive traffic into specific um, um, websites. I love trade shows, but that's for the other business, right? When I'm talking about rideshare networking, you cannot use the hard sale approach. It's got to be a soft sale. You can't say, hey, here, take my card. Where's your card? No, it doesn't work that way. You always, in a vehicle, no matter what category you're in, you have to have the passenger come to you and then ask the questions. And that's why I say my number one tip right there is I go through so many magazines, I attach so many business cards, I put it in front of their face. It's right there behind the front seat. And so they're sitting in the back seat looking at this, looking at multiple magazines, and they see my face. Okay, now will they pick up that magazine? Now will they ask for that card? The moment they do, that's a soft sale. They've approached me. I haven't approached them, right? And then I say, you are more than welcome to take the magazine and the business cards, or you can just take the business cards. And, this is what I do. And you're welcome to contact me anytime. And you're welcome. I'll always give you references, right? So it's a soft sale approach. In the rideshare business, soft sale, soft sale, soft sale. Never hardcore go to the passenger and say, hey, my name is Daniel, here's my card, book me next time. No, that may backfire. They may say, write a message after the trip, hey, the driver tried to solicit his services, it was extremely aggressive. The best combination I've given to you today is if you go out to a company like Allied Schools and do your online real estate license in any state, right? There is over 300-400 real estate agents in California. Right? You have that opportunity in the car to meet new potential buyers or sellers, right? So I can show up as a driver. I can also show up as a real estate agent. But I'm not saying, hey, here's my real estate agent card. Call me if you need to buy or sell a house. That's aggressive. That's a hard sale. The soft sale is I subtly, in a very subtle way, have all the magazines that I need in my car with the business cards. And if they do pick it up, if they do want to look at houses, they do want to ask a question, I'm there for them, right? You might as well staple your business card to the rifer's forehead. No, that's extremely painful. I wouldn't try to do that. So yeah. Insurance, if you're selling insurance, my gosh, maybe put it on the back of your card. Driver, insurance agent, hit me up for your insurance needs, right? Home insurance, car insurance, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that may relate to a deal, right? But the idea is not to hand them a card and say, hey, I'm an insurance agent, or hey, I'll help insure your home, or who insures your car, right? That is way too aggressive. I'm not for that, not at all. That's cool, Chad. That's the way I do it too. I have separate cards, but I attach both of them. But I'm saying a nice soft sale way to get in there. And guys, every week they come out. Every week they're free. This is free pamphlets, free marketing material for me. This is in your city. It doesn't matter if you're in Miami, Detroit, New York, Denver, Albuquerque. These magazines are everywhere. You just have to find your source, right? I find my source, and my guess is I'll probably take about 60 to 70 free magazines, but I get them out. It's not like I'm squandering those, taking those printed paper and just tossing them. No, I get them out. I get them out to the people, right? I always invite them. Please take that magazine, that Calabasas, take it with you. If you've started the article, you started reading, take it with you. I have plenty, right, where that came from. So it works. It works for me. I've taught it to others. It works for them. I've received the feedback from them. It works. It's a very simple formula that works. It ain't rocket science, folks. Okay, so yeah, it's an interesting topic, isn't it? Success realizes dreams. I love that. Success realizes dreams. This is your car. This is your office. Use it, guys. Use it. Use it to connect with all of these individuals, unless they put you in quiet or what I call shut up and drive mode. Obviously, then you don't have an opportunity to network. Their loss. That's the way I see it. Their loss. You missed the opportunity to get to know me, right? You put me in shut up and drive mode. You missed the opportunity to meet another interesting person and to form an interesting relationship and to network with me. That's the way I see it, right? Yeah, swiping. Swiping, no sweeping. Millennials don't know how to turn pages. Alan Cassidy, thank you, my friend. Liverpool's in the house. Liverpool will be shouting for you on June the 6th. Am I correct, Alan? It's June the 6th. Well done. Congratulations, Liverpool, for being in the final. 2 British teams, going to be exciting. Tottenham versus Liverpool. We're going to paint the town red, Alan. Thank you, Alan Cassidy. We appreciate you being in the house. Mikasa Sukasa, we're in the house. Ride Geo. No, people like that stuff. Maps also. What's it? Have you got to be told quiet? Yes, yes, I did. By a lady. 1. It's okay. I didn't take it personal. Don't think she was judging me. Probably hit it. She was just very good looking lady, probably hit on by a ton of drivers, but I'm not taking that personal. It was a Uber trip from a hotel in Calabasas, right, down to LAX. It's okay. It was quiet. But sort of towards the end, the person opened their mouth and said, well, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have a safe flight. Maybe next time we get an opportunity to talk. So I threw a little bit of sarcasm in there, right? Had to stick it to the person who gave me the shut up and drive mode, baby. I want you to shut up and I want you to drive. Guys, where do I go? Right, just want to show you this. Where do I go to try and network with the people? There. You'll see me there a lot. You guys know that. I'll dress up, get clients there. It's the crowd that I want to meet. Where else do I go? You will see me down there. There's my car in the background, Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be, right? Beverly Hills. So Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Pacific Palisades, Malibu, right? Why? I got to keep that luxury or that SUV car busy. That's the category I chose. That's the car that I committed to, right? I could be in Uber X and drive everywhere, right? But this is the arena that I chose. The person that I am. I love networking. I love people. And, you know, I don't mind, I don't mind going into these restaurants with my clients. They invite me to Nobu. They invite me to these restaurants. They invite me in for sushi. They invite me in for a healthy meal. It's cool. Go and sit. But I know my boundaries. When spoken to, I'll speak, but I don't just like create the topics. No, I keep it professional. I never, ever, a lot of them will say, hey, have a shot of tequila, have a glass of wine. I don't drink and drive. Strict, strict, strict rule. When I'm out with my clients or my private clients, never, ever will I drink and drive. I don't smoke either. This year, and I just saw this picture. It's really cool. I love VWs, right? That's me with my little bro. My little bro, Ryan, who's going to be a future entrepreneur. And he's been in Kevin's videos. He's been in some of my own videos. He has his own channel. He's a big Fortniter. He has his own merchandise line called Cobra Uprising. The guy... I've got a private trip, guys. Sorry. It's one of these last minute... I love those last minute. Hey, can you take us a few hours time? Like, can I adjust on this one? I think I can. That'll make them happy. That'll make me happy. Remember, this is so freaky. How does the universe work, right? Can you take us to Nobu at 6 p.m.? And maybe I just put that out there. Guy just wrote me, can you take us to Nobu at 6? I'll do that. Money, money, money needs to come into my bank account. So, did we have fun? Rideshare 411. How's everyone doing today? Thank you, Rideshare 411. Thank you for asking. I think we're having fun. We're sharing, we're learning. Good energy. We had to give one guy a timeout. We had to give a troll a timeout, but that's okay. T. James, usually refer passengers to a couple of the best restaurants in town, and I by chance happened to catch the owner of one of the restaurants in my car, and he offered me a free meal. That's awesome. So he's forming a synergy. You're networking with a restaurant owner, and it could be a great suggestion for tourists. I like that. I like your thinking, T. James. Was that the mystery machine in that pic? Yeah, I'm a sucker for VWs, as you know. I have a lot of different VWs. Off-road, bugs, street machines, buses. It's one of my weaknesses. Or hobbies. So Abstract Echo, thank you for asking. Rick Reviews in the house. Junior, yeah. I'm giving Junior a ton of love, and I'm teaching Junior a lot, and I love Junior's questions. Little Junior Torsten asks a lot of questions, and I like that. I enjoy being a dad. It's fun, super fun. What else do we have? Let's roll Tina. Cool. So, my friends, I got to rock and roll here soon. Let's see what else. Sorry, I'm just checking. I got several messages. Got to make sure I'm on top of the. Cool. Guys, please do me a favor. Find your source for free magazines. This is my weekly pickup. There's more. Can't pick it all up. Get yourself a very simple staple gun. Order your box of business cards. Right? Almost through that one. And then when you have your business cards, make sure you use that little stapler that you bought at Office Depot or at Staples, and that you attach them to the magazines and position this behind the front seat. So facing the passenger in the back seat, right? And staple, and get them out. Do a soft sale, do another soft sale, and please find another business or a main business. If you're doing rideshare only, please do me a huge favor. Find another business that you can plug into your office, that you can promote through your office. Your car, right, is your office, so that you're doubling up. You're constantly doubling up. It's just not, hey, I'm getting paid to drive ABC from Y to Z, but at the same time, I am using my other business as an opportunity to set myself up for bigger things, to meet these individuals, to create relationships, to get my word out, to get my sales pitch out when asked, not forcing that upon them, but when asked, and expanding. Exactly, expanding your brand, right? Branding yourself, getting your logo out, getting your business card out, making yourself known in those zip codes, right? is I've concentrated on those areas: Calabasas, Westlake, Agoura, Hidden Hills, Malibu, Hidden, what else did I leave out? I guess I covered them all. That is where I want to get the word out. So find your niche in your city, and just try this formula. Just try it out. Remember Torsten telling me, hey, pick up free magazines. So yeah, I went out and got my free magazines in Detroit or in Miami. I went and designed my business cards like Thomas Gibson did, right? I went and created my website. And now I set up a YouTube channel, made a couple of videos for me. Hey, my name is Torsten. I'm a private driver in the Hidden Hills area. This is what I can do for you. Bum, 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 listed. That's a 30-second video. Why not promote yourself, promote those services, and start getting private trips? So like me, it's working on a 60-40 ratio. 40% of the time dedicated to Lux and SUV, Uber, and Lyft. The other 60% taking care of private clients, like the person that just texted me and wanted a 6 p.m. drop-off at Nobu. Promote yourself, promote yourself, promote yourself. Lisa Valen, thank you. Everyone, can I have 50 of these? John Doe already gave me a ton, and I love the fact that you made them colorful, all colors. I love that, right? So I need 50 and I'm out of here. I got to go take care of the next client. I got to actually hustle right now. So I need 50 quickly, and then I'm out of here. Here we go. Rideshare 411, John Doe. We're pretty much almost there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And my friends, that is the frequency we set today. Fire, love, hearts, and thumbs up. And that's how I enjoy leaving my house, your house, our house, in the middle of the street. We leave it on a good note, on a positive note. Go out, enjoy your day, go make money, take care of your loved ones. And hey, have a wife, you have a girlfriend, why not drop by somewhere and get some flowers? Get a little bouquet of flowers and say, hey, you know what? You rock my world, with a little card. Nice little note. Do something nice today. Do something kind today, right? Thank your neighbor, or a little kind gesture wherever you can. Just spread some love, spread some hope, spread some positivity, because that's what we're about in our house. Wouldn't you agree? Peace out. Love you guys. Thank you.